Hi, I'm Marat Safin. We are at tennis. Thanks for watching us. What's
Привет,
up? What's up? What's
привет.
up, Ali?
What's up, Marat? How are you?
How are you? Oh, good. Surviving.
You look like it. You look like you need a haircut. What's going on? This is lockdown hairstyle.
Yeah, Robinson Crusoe.
Well, first of all, appreciate for you to hang out so late. I know you're one of those guys who likes to go to sleep early, so um, it's what na zdrowie, na
Yeah,
zdrowie.
thank you. I'm drinking tea, man.
Yeah.
Herbal tea. Tell me.
Where are you?
I'm in Moscow for the
Moscow.
moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it is a bit late. So
No, it's
thanks.
9 o'clock. It's okay.
Oh, 9 o'clock only?
It's 1 hour difference.
Okay, I thought it was
No,
3. So okay.
no.
So it's middle of the day for you.
Yeah. Half. Morning.
How are you doing?
All good, all good, all good. Can't complain. I've been long 2 months. In lockdown, but now it's better. I think they're gonna open the border finally, so people can move freely, especially in the
Yeah,
summer.
sure. As they had, the weather's nice.
No, here is raining around 11 degrees. Yeah, but manageable. Everything is green, nice, but it's okay.
11 degrees. That's cold.
Yeah, that's cold, but that's Russia, man. Well, cold.
What Marat? Tell me what? How do you spend your days when there's no lockdown, when there's no world pandemic? What do you do with your time? Your free time now?
Mm, well, what I like to do is I like to last 3 years, 4 years. I like to do the road trips. So traveling, road trips, and meanwhile I have some things to do to make money, make a living. So I'm between that. When I have free time, then I travel. So
So
business and pleasure.
how do you make a living?
I have a few things that brings me some cash every month, and it makes me happy and makes me yeah. Well, I can travel. So. I'm not a zillionaire, but I can survive.
Okay, it sounds good. And
Yeah.
when you talk about traveling, it's hiking trips, like or what type of trips?
No, I like, for example, last summer I did for a month. I did a trip around on the coast of all around the coast of Peninsula, Iberic Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal, all around it. I took a car from Monaco and I drove. Yeah, 1 month stopped in some villages. Then I moved. I stayed if I like somewhere to stay. Then I stayed a little bit longer. I can do my surf, well, kind of surf. So and then I move on. And obviously it's a good food there. I'm a gastronomic guy, so I find a nice places to eat and
And you
peace
do
and
this
quiet.
alone? Alone?
Yeah, alone. I don't want anybody to, like to influence on my day by day life, and I don't want to deal with any of other people's shit.
Hey, I mean that's good. Why don't you? I mean, you should go get on a boat, no?
Probably one next stage will be the boat. For the moment, I manage on the ground. Boat is a little bit, yeah, it's later on, I think, because well, I have things to do. So and then I need to, for example, if I'm on ground, I can take a flight and can fly anywhere in the world. And if I'm on the boat, what I'm gonna do? If I have to fly, have some meetings, then it's complicated to move around.
All right, you park your boat in a port.
Yeah. First, I need to have a boat, so I need to make a little bit of money or to make a
There you go.
boat. So
There you go.
yeah,
Okay,
it's getting there, getting there.
it sounds nice.
Uh,
It sounds like you're enjoying yourself.
yeah. I'm enjoying. I'm free. Do whatever I want. I live how I want. I don't depend on anybody. Nobody has influence on me. Um, it's the best, actually. It's the best time for the moment. I can't complain.
That hasn't always been the case for you.
No, I started to live my life 4 years ago when I had completely changed the way I changed my perception on everything what I do in life and what's life about. And before I was living for somebody, for expectation of somebody, expectations of myself. patterns, programs. You should be like this. You should be like that. This is the way people live, and I actually don't want to live like everybody wants. Everybody thinks they need to live, because nobody knows how to live the right life. Everybody talks about it, but everybody's. If you scratch anybody, everybody has skeletons on a wardrobe, and they can't deal with it, and they run away from it. And then these kind of people, they teach you how to live, how to behave, what to do, when to have kids, when to have family. Everybody knows everything about other people's life, and they don't know anything about themselves. So that was my case, and I was listening to these yo-yos for quite some time. So and then at some point I decided that to live my way, take my path, and take responsibilities for my actions, and trust me, my life is couldn't be any better than now. But it takes time to change, to switch, because you have old habits that are pulling you down, and you need to be strong and trust yourself, trust your inner voice, and move on. And of course, a lot of people, they're gonna be against you. You're gonna lose a lot of so-called friends that are not friends, and I thought they were my friends. So then when you start to clean your surroundings, you can start to clean yourself from inside, starting to resolve your inner problems, inner programs, and so on. So it's quite a work to do. You need to accept you need to accept that you allowed to make mistakes, and you can accept that you are, well, because we are humans, and we're allowed to do, yeah, we're allowed to do mistakes. It's the most, and don't believe that you are such an amazing person, because we are humans, and nobody is perfect here, and perfection doesn't exist. And anybody who tries to be perfect, it means that he's hiding something behind it.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I hear that you're a big surfer. This I did not know.
Well,
big surfer
is not. No. It's not my
Well,
case.
first of all, you're a tall guy, so you're big.
Who trolled you?
I can't.
That way?
I can't. I
So
don't
you
reveal
can't
my
reveal.
sources.
No.
You crazy?
Okay, you can't reveal my. Yeah.
No, but
No.
but you're passionate about surfing.
No, I like it. I do it. First of all, it's a perfect exercise for fitness exercise. You are for 2 hours in the water. You work out. You need, because you slide a couple of waves, and then what do? You need to crawl back, and then it's 2 hours. You do exercises. Then you have unbelievable lunch on the shore. Tuna steak with a good beer, and watching the other surfers do what can be best, and then you take a rest, you go to sleep. I don't know, but that's the life, and surfers, they know the life.
Yeah, it's not scary. It scares me. I'm scared of surfing because I'm scared of being stuck under a wave or getting hit by another board, or I don't know.
Yeah, well, don't go to Nazaré, to Portugal, man. Then you have a 30 meters wave. So I mean, you don't need to go there.
I'll go, but I'll just stay on the beach and watch.
Yeah, it's one of the options.
And I'll have the tuna steak and the beer that I can do well with.
You smart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen. First of all, so thanks for being with us. We are trying to make Roland Garros, the spirit of Roland Garros, live throughout these 2 weeks, which should have been the weeks of the tournament originally. The tournament will be taking place later in the year because of everything.
When is it?
On. It's looking very good. It's looking very good.
When?
End of September.
Oh, okay.
So try and fit that into your schedule between 2 road trips, and we'll see you there in person. Maybe we'll share a tuna steak in Paris. I know a couple places that make good tuna steaks.
Oh, okay. I count on that.
Okay, but in the meantime, we've been exchanging with a bunch of guys, girls. All of these players that have made this tournament have written the history books of this tournament, and I was, thinking of all the people that we're trying to reach, and I couldn't fathom not speaking to you. Not because you won the tournament 15 times, obviously, but you're and it's surprising, and we're going to cover that. But you're such a star, and you made so many people love watching tennis and want to play tennis, that you had to be part of this program. So thanks for
thank you.
No, I mean, Listen, so many things come to mind, but so let's start off with your
Yeah.
story a bit for people maybe who don't know the deep story. But you went and you developed your skills in tennis in Spain, in
Yeah.
Valencia.
Yeah. Well, I've been coached by my mother here until I was 13, and then, well, until 12, and then I went to Bolitieri Academy. They didn't take me. I wasn't good enough. They saw Nick saw me twice. He said, "No, yeah, you kid, you don't have any chance. You're a good player, but not at the our scale."
Unreal.
And but it was funny because I saw Haas there, I saw Lisnard, and it didn't really impress me much. And I said, well, listen, if these guys are Mirny and other guys, and they're not any good, better than me, they were a little bit older, but I was very good, in my opinion. And then it touched my ego when this guy, Nick said that, listen, man, you are not too good for us. So, and it was a kick, a right magical kick on the butt, and to prove to the world, I guess, that I'm also a good player. So then I was lucky to end up in Spain. Well, not in Barcelona, but in Valencia. And now I'm thinking that I've been guided from upstairs somehow to Spain, because a lot of people are going to Germany. Some people are going to normally Germany. The Russians are going to Germany because they're playing for the club matches, so they have earned some money and they can leave somehow. And my scenario was going to Spain. Then, of course, the Russian coaches said, no, it's a waste of time. This is bullshit. This is Spain. They only play defense. All this nonsense, stupid, genius people around tennis, they were saying that for a long time. And I'm saying this, and Spanish school, tennis school is the best in the world by far. And nobody can beat me on that when you get to the points. I mean, there is no way that States is not any good. Bolitieri is okay, but it's like nothing special about it. But Spain, look how many Spanish players are top 100 since the 90s.
Sure.
It's always like 15 players on the top 100. That was a time. There was a time when the American school was good. I mean, with Courier, Sampras, Todd Martin, Agassi, and so on, so on, so on. But it was a short amount of time. Look how many players are from States now, and how many people are from players from Spain. How many players are from France? France is okay school, but it's I take on Spain.
Yeah, because I was thinking France also always regularly has at least 10 to 15 players in the top 100, like Spain.
Yeah, but it's but yes, of course in top 100. But then if you look to top 20, then it's make a difference. Then you see the Spanish, and then you see the Frenchies, and the Frenchies, they are good to a certain level. And then when they have to break through, really to fight to winning Grand Slam, there is something is going on. They are always injured. They're always complaining. They have something, I pulled my muscle, I pulled my stomach, I pulled this, I pulled that, I cannot play, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So it's always the same story. It's been forever like this. So I don't know what's going on, because they have unbelievable talent, the Frenchies, the unbelievable talented players, unbelievable fighters. But all of a sudden something goes wrong when you get to the semifinals, to quarterfinals, big events. Then something is like they break down mentally. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
No, it's my opinion. Obviously.
I know. I'm letting you speak, man. I love it.
Okay.
I'm letting you speak. It's great.
Okay.
Okay. So Valencia, 4 years?
No, well, since 93 till 98, but I kept after, and when I started to make money, I kept this as a base in Monaco and base in Spain, in Valencia, because I could come there for pre-season. I was doing in Valencia because we had Andujar, Jimeno, Andreev, Ferrero. We have a lot of players to practice with, and so it was comfortable, and it's good fitness, good facilities, good town. Why not? And if you stay focused, you don't need to. There is not much traffic. Everything is in one place, and you know everybody for quite some time. You trust them, and it's a good. It was a good team there.
Nice city. I was there for Davis Cup, Spain, Germany.
Yeah, it's nice.
Beautiful city, beautiful city with the They dried up the river and they made it all like
yeah, you can run there. It's really
yeah.
cool, and it's very well, obviously it's a university town, so you have a lot of young people around all around the Spain, and very easy going, quite cheap, good weather, good food. What else we need? Yeah.
So clay court tennis,
Hmm.
100%, right?
Yeah. Only.
Only clay.
Only clay until 2000. Only clay, and you can see in my matches in until 2000, actually until 2002, 3 or something like this. Then I started to improve my volleys because I had no volleys at all. And in Spain, they didn't really. Back then, they were not really explaining how to play volleys, how to attack. It was more around grinding around the baseline and trying to, yeah, overplay the other player. But it didn't work on the serve. I don't say that bad. No, not at all. I'm saying that back then it was there. I'm talking about year '93. So back then, all the Spanish players, they were playing on defensive. So I've been taught like that, and then throughout the career, I had understood that I have to improve my volleys. I need to improve my serve. I need to, and then that's why a lot of changes happened with Peter Lundgren, ex coach of Federer, and then I improved my volleys, and it was a different story. Yeah.
What he taught, like coming up, shortening the points, coming to finish the points at the net, being a bit more offensive.
Yeah, how to make approach, how to play, and which point, how to play, improve the serve, higher percentage, no kicks, more variety. Because back then it was my technique on the serve wasn't really unbelievable, and that's why I was struggling playing against the big guys, against the big players. I was struggling on that. Especially playing against Agassi or Sampras, you need to hold on your serve, and my serve was quite shaky. It was only kick, and with kick, where you go, you don't go anywhere.
Oh, you can go to the backhand on the advantage side.
Yeah, for quite some time, and then you get your ass kicked.
When you were with Lundgren, was after he was with Federer or before?
No, after. Peter did a great job with Roger, and I think Roger, well, he's a genius in tennis, but I think he started with Peter, and then when they split up, I saw the opportunity. Well, if he did such a job with Federer, I think he can do something with me. And that's how it started.
Good personalities too. You guys
clicked
well.
Yeah, thank you. He's good. He was good heart.
Yeah. And so what I'm trying to figure out, because I checked out your record in Paris, and like I said, I mean, you made semifinals. That was your best result. Yet you were really you were what they call a clay court specialist, really, because you had spent so much time in the Spanish school. And why do you think, when you look back, why do you think you never won the French Open? I mean,
because I was stupid.
Really?
That year against the May year that I made the semifinals, I tanked the semifinal against Ferrero. I tanked. I mean, like you couldn't see it, but it was I gave up the match, and playing against the Costa in the finals of French Open, and I beat Costa. I think that year I beat Costa on Hamburg, so it's not really an unbelievable player that he will kick your ass and you have no chances. With Costa you could play, but something went wrong at the first set with Ferrero, and it was over for me, and then I never had opportunities to do well there.
How do you give up after one set? How is that possible?
Yeah, because I was fragile.
Such a competitor, when you're such a
I was fragile on my head, man. I was very fragile, and then I could look very focused and very strong in the head, but I was on the edge every time, and it depends. I couldn't keep my emotions. Yeah, my emotions guided me. And then it was my struggle, because I couldn't hold the pressure. I couldn't hold anything, and then it was a disaster. From once I let my emotions go, then it was a dead end.
Yeah, it was a 6-3.
You see, 4-2.
3, 2, and 4. Yeah, that's And what, short match, fast?
Yeah. It was not a match. It was he didn't beat me. I lose to him.
2 hours and 8 minutes.
Nothing.
And you guys practiced all the time together, right?
Not all the time, because
But a
he was
lot,
practicing.
no?
He was practicing like 1 hour away from Valencia. He was between Albacete, Alicante, and Valencia. So he was there in the middle of nowhere, in the fields of on the field somewhere between the mountains. Not really unbelievable place where he was practicing, but it was okay. But from time to time we could hit some balls together, and we shared the fitness coach with him, and it was okay. Yeah, and I know him since I was 14.
And you're head to head against him.
I don't know.
You know what it is?
No.
6'6".
6'6". Ah, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's like he should say thank me. He should thank me. Let him win. Let him beat me 6 times.
Okay. I don't know if he's watching, but
I hope he hears me.
Okay.
Pass him on the message.
I will. He then went on to let Costa win. So you guys all were very generous that year, huh?
Yeah, I was super generous. Yes.
But you never were able to correct that. This mental fragility.
No, I couldn't deal. Yeah, I was sometimes getting better. Sometimes, sometimes I could get better, but was far away from being at the top, and that's why I was very negative on the court, very negative, and that's why I got burned out at the end of my career. I wanted to retire. I broke all my everything I could broke from the body. I broke. And I got even more depressed, and I couldn't run anymore. So then I got burned out, and then I retired. I said, "This is basta. If I'm fighting for number one, or I'm not playing tennis at all. I don't give a shit to be 15 in the world, 10 in the world. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want it all."
So it wasn't that hard of a decision to take, really.
No, it was like it. I wanted to retire at the age of when I broke my knee after Australia. I was trying to play another 3 months with the painkillers, with injections to the knee. Then I realized I couldn't play. I went to recover from the injury. I didn't recover well. I broke again, and then it took me 1 year to recover to play normally. And then I said, "Impossible! I cannot run to the forehand." The guys, they say it. And why to suffer? Why to suffer? Why to disrespect yourself? And then I said, okay, let's stop this nonsense and let's move on with our life.
Nice, impressive. I want to make a little parentheses here, because you did get to number one, and your sister got to number one also, and that's something that to this day has not happened again. A brother and a sister were both number one in the world. Forget about brothers and sisters being both professional tennis players. You guys were both number one in the world, that's just completely crazy. No?
Well, yeah, of course it's crazy. I'm so happy for my family. I'm happy for my mother, father, sister, that we are the only one man and woman number one in the world. We have sisters, Williams, but we are better than them. Well, boys,
everybody's getting their fair share tonight. I love it.
Yes.
But for her, it must have been even harder, because you led on, so she had the pressure to do as good as you, and she managed to do it. It's crazy. It's such an achievement.
Well, I don't know how it was for her, how she felt, if she felt this way or not. But I helped her out.
Your sister. She was always your little sister.
Yeah, but for me it's difficult to. I understand what you're talking about, but for me it's difficult to seeing from her point of view, because nobody actually put her any pressure. I brought my family to Spain so she can play, and whatever she does, she does. Like, she doesn't need to prove anything to nobody. And then it depends on her what kind of pressure and how much pressure she put on her to be number one in the world or be better than me or whatever. So it's difficult for me to. I guess she has pressure. I guess now it's a good point. Yeah.
Well, anyways, hats off.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
to the Safin family, because you're also the first Russian to win the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Actually,
a nice thing. And so when you won that tournament and you just sweep the court with Pete Sampras in straight sets, everything went right. Then I guess that's how that's what you needed to win at that moment of your career. You needed everything to click.
well, it's the final of US Open was a surprise for me. Well, not a surprise because I was ready to fight for it, but I never expected I'm gonna beat Sampras in the final. Even though I beat him in the semifinals in Toronto, and I won that year, but especially playing in US Open, New York, final. I never played the final in my life of the Grand Slam. So for me, it was quite difficult to understand that I can beat him. And when I beat him, I didn't know what to do with it. It's like it fell down from the sky, and I had to deal with this. And then a few weeks later, I became number one. It was even more pressure on me. I fall down, so I didn't know how to deal with it. I had no one around me who would guide me and give me the confidence, and give me the guidance how to take it. And I was all alone with myself, and a lot of people around me pushing me to to play better and to make money. That's the way it was. So nobody really educated me in a right way how to passing from a normal mediocre player to become a number one. So it's like a big difference on attitude in the head. It's a big difference. Once you are number 10 in the world or you're number one, it's quite different. And I didn't know how to deal with it. Yeah.
It's interesting because you mentioned money a few times, and I feel like that's something that Russians have no problem talking about, no problem saying that they're playing for money, they're playing to win money. It's not a taboo for you guys at all.
No, well, we came from a very poor country. No, our country was rich, but the people were poor. We have to realize that. I grew up in an apartment of 20 square meters. You have to understand, the four of us. So for money for us, it's very important. It's a very serious issue. We started to make money only when Soviet Union fell down. So then Chesnokov, Volkov, Cherkasov, Olhovsky decided to make a little bit of money. The hockey players, they started to make money. They could travel outside of, they could go to US to make money. So for us, the money issue is okay. We can talk about it. Why not? And some of them, it's a motivation. You need to support your family. It's not like you live in France and you get the salary and everything's okay. You dress in Lacoste and you walk on the Champs-Élysées, and it's not like this, the life. And the life for us, yeah, you see, Frenchies. And for us, it's a little bit. It's a really serious issue because like I said, we've been for ages, for decades, we live in a very poor. So for us to make a little bit of money, to be able to travel, to live our life, it's very big significance for us.
Yeah, it's impressive stuff. Okay, we come back to Roland Garros. And the 2004 tournament, which is a tournament that maybe will stay more in the history books about you than the 2002 tournament. Surprisingly enough, because two amazing things happened that tournament that were just little things, but that's what people remember. You know what I'm talking about. One is Mantilla and one is Starace. Those two matches for different reasons. The Mantilla match, which stays one of the craziest matches of court number one. Which was a magical court. That court, by the way, is gone. I don't know if you knew it, but they tore it down.
Yeah, they made it, I think, last year.
Yeah. In fact, if you're interested, I can hook you up with a chair from that court. They made chairs. BNP Paribas took all the chairs from the stadium and made chairs out of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I interest you in one? You can put it in the trunk of your car so that when you on a road trip you can.
Very important.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
During that match, this point where a crazy point to which you win because you go for a drop shot and you put it cross court and an amazing shot. You don't touch the net. Nobody knows to this day how you do not touch the net on that shot, and you pull your pants down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
I
well,
know
it's
you've.
in.
I know that people have talked to you about this thousands of times, but we have to talk about it because it's part of you. I find that it shows, it reflects very much who you are.
Well, like I can explain, it's very, very simple. First of all, the match against Mantilla was very long and very good match. We played both. We played good tennis, you know, like a really good, good match. And then it was unbelievable point, very long rally. I made a drop shot that I never did in my life. It was impossible. And in Spain, there is actually in Spain is always if somebody makes an unbelievable point or if somebody is robbing the point or something like an issue, they pull the pants down. So it clicked in my head. I wanted to pull the pants down. I don't know why it happened. So it's coming from Spain. So you see the Spanish influence. So you throw it back on Spanish.
Because
Bad education.
he looks at you. He looks at you. There's a look on his face where his eyes go like this. They're like, "What is he doing?" So he knows what you're doing. Then
I don't know what he was about the drop shot that I made or that I pulled the pants down.
no,
So
the pants.
sure, ask
He,
Mantilla. Well, I will ask him.
do you guys have you guys talked about it?
No, but it's no, not actually. He didn't even ask me that. But the Spanish were okay with it. I think because it's for them. If you play the satellites and the challengers in Spain, this is normal, normal subject. It was like okay. All money tournaments in Spain, like left and right, they're putting pens down. You know, they're
Okay,
throwing, they're insulting each other, they're grinding, and it's like it's a good school actually there.
but
So
it's
that's
not.
why.
But pulling your pants down is not an insult in that case.
No, at all, at all, at all. It's the other way around. It's like wow, you know, like look what I did, and it's like a surprise, but nothing against the guy, no, at all.
And the referee gives you a warning point penalty.
Yeah, but this is normal. But then I got pissed, but it was my mistake that I got pissed. I insulted him. I shouldn't have been insulted. I wasn't really educated back then. And then I realized it was a mistake. Yes, he did what he did, but he understood that this wasn't that was the issue. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to insult anybody. But he had to call the penalty point because that's French Open. You're on TV, man.
So what? I mean, that to me, that's crazy. The lack of psychology of calling, of giving you a penalty on that is amazing. For me,
Yeah, but it's okay.
it's part of the story now. But
it's yeah, it's okay. But it's actually I could apologize to the umpire. I shouldn't say what I said, and but now it's easy to say. And but I think well, okay. Every time we see.
Who was it on the chair? Do you remember?
The Brazilian. I forgot the Brazilian guy. Maybe it will pull up. Maybe it will come up to me later.
Okay. Okay. And then the following match against Potito Starace, that was on Court Philippe Chatrier.
Yeah.
And you win that points at a match 7-5 in the fifth. And you have, to this day, I don't understand how you were able to play because
Carlos Bernardes.
Bernardes.
Carlos Bernardes, yes.
Yeah, we have people that are helping us.
Yeah. No, I saw it. Yeah. Thank you guys.
You have 10, I think it's 10 blisters on your hands.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from actually. I never had so many blisters on my hand, and actually this year I was playing unbelievable tennis. Even and I came up from a very difficult match against Starace. I came out very difficult match from Mantilla, and I was improving, and then after Starace match, I don't know what happened. I had no more. Yeah, it was like no more. How we call it? Skin on my. So I was bleeding, and then I played against Albanian, and I was a present to him. And this guy he never invited me for the dinner. Jesus, what's wrong? That's so cheap. The players, my God. I have a list of actually of people they should invite me for dinner because I made them win so much money. It's a joke. First one is Santoro. He's the greediest person on the tour. You know how many matches? He won 9 matches against me. He never invited me, never said thank you.
You know,
Santoro, greedy.
I swear to God, it's next on my list here. Fabrice Santoro.
Okay. I will give him a strong.
Now, let's talk about Fabrice.
Okay.
He was your dark horse. He was for some reason, the guy you were hardly ever able to beat, right?
Mm.
How do you explain that? I mean, why is it? He wasn't powerful. He was amazingly talented, obviously, tactically, one of the best guys on tour, very smart, tennis smart, but you overpowered guys all the time. And him, for some reason, he just made you go crazy.
Well, it happened. It happened to me after the first match where we played against each other. We played in Washington. I don't know which year, in 1800 something. I was young, and he toyed with me because the way he plays, it's no pace, and I was playing really good. And I didn't pay attention as like, I looked at the guys that play ugly, like I didn't understand what this kind of game. And then when I came up to the court, he toyed with me and I felt so uncomfortable. So he got under my skin. So it was psychological. I couldn't get out of my head. So the next matches I played against him, it was it's always pulling up the image of that match. And it's getting worse and worse. So that's what happened. And I didn't prepare for that match.
I'm looking right now. He owns a 7-2 record over you.
7-2 record.
7-2.
So yeah, you should invite me for a few dinners now.
Yeah, definitely. You beat him twice, and both times it was in Germany. You beat him once indoor in Stuttgart, which was 1,000 back then.
Oh wow, I forgot about this one.
And in Halle on the grass. That was the last time you guys.
Halle, I beat him in Halle.
Yeah, he retired.
Couldn't deal with the pressure.
That's it. You were his dark horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's an amazing thing. I want to go backwards in time very quickly to your first Roland Garros, which is in fact your first Grand Slam. That was the first Grand Slam tournament you played, was Roland Garros. And you played qualies. You came out of qualies, and you drew Andre Agassi. So first, I want to know what goes through your mind when you come out of qualies, your very first Grand Slam tournament. You look at the draw and you see Andre Agassi on your line.
Well, first of all, I almost. It started like this. I came to the tournament of French Open to Roland Garros to play the qualies, and all of a sudden, right before that week, I decided to change strings. I was playing with Kirschbaum, and I wanted to change to ISO speed, and I never hit the ball with it. I just string the rackets, and I went to play the Roland Garros.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I still don't know. I was 18 years old kid, oh my God. And then I realized I cannot play with this. I practice okay, but practice is one thing, and then playing on the final or playing the tournament's another thing. So I play in the first match, and I'm losing set and a break, and I'm realizing that I'm gonna lose the set. And I think set on a break against somebody, and then all of a sudden I asked somebody on the ground, on the stands, because some players were watching. I said, "Listen, find me some Kirschbaum racket and Kirschbaum string, and I need to string now because I'm losing." So the guys they went quickly to restring me the racket. They bring me the racket. I started to play with Kirschbaum, and I won. I won the first match.
Was your racket or just somebody else's racket?
No, with my racket, but different strings. So they were like very fast. They string for 15 minutes. I tried to maintain, go slow around the points, and so I don't lose very fast. And then I won the match, and then I won another match. I started to play better. I was playing better. And against Agassi, when I saw Agassi in the first round that I'm going to play against him, obviously it was a surprise for me, not a really good one. But for me, it was a revenge, because we played the Davis Cup a few months before, Russia against States. Yeah. And it was my first Davis Cup. So Agassi kicked my ass like really easy, 3-3-3, and I was picking up the balls all around the court. I couldn't do anything. So everybody's like, Russian, like he's not so good, and this and that and that.
But then you really touched me. You played 5 sets against Courier in that same Davis Cup match after.
Yeah, right? But still, the Russians are always very negative, and I was like, no, but you're not good enough. Spain is bullshit. So again, they started with this nonsense. geniuses of tennis. And then for me, it was I could, even though I lost very easy, but I could see that I have a chance against Agassi, but I need to just get used because I didn't play much on a hard court. But on clay, I realized that I have a big chance against him. So it's like wasn't really. I didn't come up there and saying, okay, I'm gonna lose very easy, no chance. I'm gonna fight for it, and that's why I fought. That's why I beat him because he didn't surprise. He surprised me in a way, but he didn't surprise me unbelievable. It's like he didn't impress me that much. It's all around entourage against around Agassi. That was the key.
Right.
Because Agassi, because I had a poster of him and Nike, and he's he's a legend and whatever. He won
Was he
I don't
your,
know how many
who was your
Grand
idol?
Slams.
Was he your idol?
No, he was my idol. My idol, I liked very much Goran. I liked very much Krajcek and Magnus Larsson.
Okay.
Tall baseliners, but they can play the volley. That's what I became actually at the end of my career, more or less, but less more from the baseline.
Very few people say that their idols were Krajcek.
Yeah, it's impressive, no?
Respect, man. Respect. So you make it past the round. Well, Agassi also, we have to say, he's in the midst of his comeback.
Who?
At Agassi, when you play him, he had gone through his
yeah
rough
he dropped
patch.
he dropped like 117 something like this, and he came back. Also he has some issues with his father from what I know, and also he has difficult youth supposedly.
Yeah.
And they had to deal with the pressure, a lot of pressure, and this is his story. And but he managed. He made an unbelievable career.
Well, yeah, and then he won. He finally won in Paris the year after. So that was. So he lost first round to you. So you win first round of the first match against Agassi, and then you play Querten in the second round, who is ranked 8th and who is title holder of the tournament. And at this point you're like, when is this going to stop? No, I mean.
Well, against Querten, I came out in the court just to play the match and let's see what's gonna happen, because that match I thought I'm not gonna beat him, because I watched him the year before. I was playing the juniors the year before and I lost in the first round. So for me it was a little bit like very difficult because he was really good clay court specialist and very good. And then I started to play the match and I realized that there's nothing special. Okay, he's good. I'm not saying he's good, but he's not killing me, you know, like he's not whipping me out of the court. He's not killing me with the aces. He's not killing me with the winners. I can play my game, my tennis, and let's see what's going to happen. And I started to play, I realized that I have to hold my serve. I have to attack on his second serve. So basically, try to take your chances and attack. Don't let him attack you. And let's see what's gonna happen. When I was fearless and I was playing, I have nothing to lose. I'm playing on a center court. I'm playing against the former champion of the French Open. So what I have to lose? If no matter what match I will do, they will say, "Okay, well done. You lost to the winner." So it's okay. If I win, I win. So it's like always a plus. And he has to deal with the pressure because I'm young. I'm 18. He's, I don't know. He was back then 22, 23. So he has pressure, more pressure because he's playing with a younger player. And I'm 115 in the world. So for him to lose to me, it's very painful.
For sure, he has everything to lose in that match.
Yeah. So that's why. That's how it was.
And 6-4 in the fifth. So your first 2 Grand Slam matches are 5-setters, 10 sets in 2 matches. That's how you started your Grand Slam career. It's not bad playing Agassi.
Yeah, I was just warming up.
Yeah, you were just warming up. And in fact, then you lost. Well, you beat Daniel Vacek in 4, and then you lost to Cédric Pioline.
It was my mistake also.
Oh yeah, he owes you dinner also.
Yes. yes. Because there was I made a few. I had not much experience, and then there was a few points that I gave him a present because it was like some ball that was on the line outside, and I gave him, okay, let's play. And that's he came back into the match and he beat me. I should have won that match actually. I play against to play against Razi.
Yeah, in
to
the
play against
quarters.
Korecha. So it was a good year for me actually, and I was playing better and better. But I had no experience back then, and I had no. I was traveling with the coach with Rafa, the guy from Valencia. So he didn't really have an experience traveling with the professional tennis players. He couldn't really help me out much on how to base your strategy or tactics against these players. So it's kind of a lack of experience from him also.
Well, I mean, that was your first tournament. You're allowed for mistakes in your first tournament.
Huh? Of course.
Let's talk about something real quick about the racket breaking. But the racket breaking, it goes with the rest, right? It goes with what you were talking about your mental, the way you were fragile mentally, or is it something else?
Yeah, it was fragile mentally. That's why I was boiling, and I need to hit something, or it was the ball outside of the court, or it was the racket. I had no other tools.
Did you ever try and think of a way to overcome this? Did you ever? I mean, I'm sure you did, but what attempts did you make to try and beat these demons?
I tried to work with psychologists, but I needed something deeper than that, because psychologists they're quite superficial, and it doesn't work on professional athletes unless they put you in a deep state of trance or meditation state. Then you could change something, but still on a talking matter, it's like it doesn't help much. It can help you for 1-2 days until you collapse the next time. So it's very deep internal work, and then I realized that I could deal with that afterwards, after retired tennis. And then I could deal with this issue from where the anger was coming, from where all these things were coming, and. Back then, there were no tools how to deal with this kind of things. Psychology is not back then, especially it wasn't the answer, because there is no sportsman psychologist. Even though there was somebody who was calling themselves a sports psychologist, is bullshit. Because you talk to them and they don't know, they have except the certificate in the world, they don't know anything else. I deal with the with psychologists. It's all blah 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 blah.
What about, like, I don't know, hitting a boxing bag, or boxing off time, or getting this stuff out? Like, that wasn't a possibility? Something you thought about, or something you even tried, or it was too dangerous?
No, because it was. I dealt with it afterwards. It was a very difficult issue. It was. I had to dig it out from there with some help of some external help to deal with. And I went to Peru, and I guess I'm not gonna name it, but it helped me a lot, this trip to Peru a few years ago, to be able to dig out these kind of things, the anger, the anxiety, these kind of issues, especially anxiety. Yeah, anxiety and anger. It was the thing. I was anxious every time and angry on me, and so these kind of things that none of the psychology could deal with.
Okay, well, I'm glad you were able to deal with it. Do you feel appeased? Do you feel more?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm good. That's why I'm feeling free. I don't have many issues left. Obviously, I have issues, but it's not like not fundamental. It's more specific ones. But before, you need to deal with the fundamental issues and that you have, that are not allowing you to live fully and be happy. And once you start to take away the things, you start to clean your inner self from from the things that you don't need anymore, and not they're pulling you down. You need to get rid of them, but it's easy to say to get rid of them. You need to identify them. You need to identify from where they're coming, and the mechanism how to extract that outside of your body, of your brain, of your cells, basically. And I did some purging, a lot of purging in Peru, a lot of purging.
Good for you. Good for you. Is this something you would have liked to have done during your career?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But back then it wasn't very well known, these kind of things, and it started only to be known in the last few years. These kind of things, even though now the people don't realize how important and how it's very delicate matter what I'm talking about, these issues with these kind of things in Peru that we do, because it's not for everybody, and it's very important to find the right guide there, because you can get wrapped up even more, and then you start to think that you are clean, but you get wrapped up even more, and you have ego grown much more. And then you have issues and issues and issues, but you think that everybody is an asshole and I'm the god. That's also some issues I saw, like these people coming from Peru with this kind of nonsense in their head. And so they're going in the wrong direction, but they don't see it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's complex to say.
Yeah, it's complex. It's not a walk in the park. That's for sure. It's not. Yeah.
Listen, yesterday I was speaking with Chris Evert.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her to give me a question for you.
Chris Evert. Oh my God. Okay, shoot me.
In fact, before she did, I asked her what she thought of you, and she first of all, she said you were one of the best looking tennis players she'd ever saw.
Oh my God, thank you. Wow.
So I'll just say that.
I'm not gonna deny it. Okay, thank you. Bring me more.
Come on, you were like girls loved you, man. They love you. You know that, right?
No, back then I didn't know, because I was insecure before, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't deal with that, and it's funny to hear that, but I was very shy, and I couldn't deal with this kind of things, and I was running away from them more than getting together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. More than embracing.
But improving. I'm improving.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. So anyways, Chris wants, her question for you was, do you regret not having been a bit more serious in your career, or are you happy with the way you did it, and if you had to do it again, you would do the same thing?
Well, obviously, every person and afterwards is smarter than we used to be before. Obviously, afterwards we could, of course, we could have done something better. But I always say, there is a saying, pardon my French, if the grandmother would have balls, she would be a granddaddy. So I think it's an experience, and every stage passes, everybody has own stage, everybody has own path. And if I wouldn't be the way I was before, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And right now I'm happy the way I am. So if I would change, if I would be different way, I would be a different person. It wouldn't be me. So obviously we'll make mistakes. Obviously we need to accept that. It's a good step forward to accept that you're allowed to make mistakes, and everybody does. So yes, I did a lot of mistakes. I should have done a lot of things better, but it's my experience, and I can improve based on that mistakes. I can improve my life right now, and I could use that experience to improve my life, quality of life right now.
So, okay, but do you think that your tennis career, only the tennis career part of your life, had you done things differently, would have been a lot more productive, a lot more efficient? Would you have won more titles?
I would say it would be more pleasant. Once it's more pleasant, then it's obviously the results will come. But I was suffering on the court. For me, it was so much stress that I had to play against the player and I play against myself. So I was playing against two, and it's too much. You know, you play against Federer and you play against yourself. How are you gonna beat? You can. It's difficult to beat Federer. Now you have also you on the other side, and you have to deal with that. So it's quite complicated. Of course, it's impossible to. So if I would feel more free and I would feel more. I would enjoy more. Of course, there would be different results. Obviously, I would still be probably. Well, I don't think I would still be running because tennis will become too boring for me because I would beat everybody and very easy.
How old are you
But
today? How old are
I'm
you
40,
today?
man. I'm
You're
40.
40. So,
yeah, I'm doing comeback
yeah,
next year, man.
You're coming back next year?
Sure, man.
I dare you.
Federer is still Federer is still playing. He's a granddaddy also, so I can
He's
come
not
back.
a granddaddy.
He's only 1 year younger than me, man.
Yeah, but he's 38. No?
He's 81, man. I'm 80.
Oh yeah, 39. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, but he's not a grandfather yet.
Me neither.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I know my battles. I remember all of them. No prisoners.
Okay. Tomorrow is going to be in your place. Is going to be another Roland Garros champion. It's going to be Arantxa.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you knew her?
Well, I knew her afterwards. We crossed. Well, every time we see each other, we give a kiss like two Spanish people. Of course, I know her as a player. She squeezed the most out of her in her career. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hard worker, no forehand, ugly serve, but she managed to. But she's a hard worker. I mean, like I take the head off in front of her because to play against Graf, Sabatini, Novotna, and so on, so on, so on. You know how many great players there were back then, and then she managed to be around them and be very successful. Mary Pierce,
Monica Seles,
yeah, it's a whole group there. So she did pretty well.
Okay, so what would you like Chrissy had for you? What question would you have for her so I can ask her a question tomorrow?
Good question. No, obviously she's a legend. You put me under pressure right now. How should I ask the question of the legends? I was looking at her in black and white TV, and she was like the legend, big time legend for me. So I'm too scared to ask the question for the moment. Let me maybe later, maybe in a few minutes. It will come up.
When's the last time you were scared of anything?
A few years ago.
Oh yeah, well
I was scared of everything.
Oh yeah. No, but come on. I mean, okay, I'm not going to bug you with it, but if you can come up with one,
yeah, sure.
It will be good. Listen, we're gonna come to a close. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Before I do, however, I want to do the famous quiz because I always end my interviews with a little quiz. Mm-hmm. Simple, Roland Garros related.
Mm-hmm.
Marat Safin related. Not all my quizzes are Marat Safin related. This one is.
I hope so. Okay.
So the first question, and this is it's an interesting question because it says a lot, I think, about. But let's see if you have the answer. You played 37 matches in total in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those matches did you win in straight sets? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you the number of. You know how many you won in total?
No.
Okay, you won 26.
26. Okay, so it's.
How many in straight sets do you think?
15. Less. Lower. 1. 4. Yeah.
And I was looking at your
guys, write me right answer. My God, I was checking some guy. He rolled there 15. My God, you don't know anything. 9. What 9? 7. No, 4. Okay.
How is that? How do you explain that?
I
I
don't
mean,
like
you're.
easy answers. I like to complicate my life.
Oh, I see. So
I
that's
like to
part of
make
it.
my life difficult, yes.
So
Otherwise, it's too
when
boring.
you did win a straight set match, it was you were what? How did you feel? Like
I
a
don't
baby
even
that slept all night?
I don't even remember how many matches. Now you are telling me 4 matches I won in 3 sets, and I don't remember all of them. None of them. Zero.
You don't remember
Impressive.
any of them? I can tell
No,
you. You with
tell me.
your last win was against Alexander Sidorenko.
Okay.
Okay, so he was 145 in the world. So okay, fine. But you beat Vicente also in a first round match.
Fernando Vicente?
Yeah, 1-3-1.
Wow. He's the coach of Rublev now.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
And you beat, but you had a good win against the best 3-set win was against in quarterfinals in 2002 against Sebastien Grosjean.
Rojan, yes. Okay, I remember. Yes.
3-2 and
That one I
2.
remember.
3-2
Yeah,
and
yeah.
2.
But it was easy for me to play against Rojan.
Why?
Good forehand, but so-so serve, so-so backhand, not very powerful. So he couldn't really make any danger. He couldn't harm me with anything. He has no weapons to outpower, like shoot me out of the court, and he has no tools for me.
He was quick though, very quick.
Quick, but it's okay. But it's nothing. Not. He wasn't Hewitt, you know.
But
Good
Soto.
player, though. Good player, but for me it was too comfortable to play against him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's good player. He was what? He's three in the world. He was, I think.
Yeah,
Three,
3 or 4,
four,
I think. Yeah.
3 or 4 in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he's a good player.
And the other one was Tommy Haas. Tommy Haas, big win. He was
Oh,
21.
I kicked the ass of the good-looking one. Ah, okay, Tommy boy.
The one that was at the Bollettieri Academy. He was good
Yeah, yeah.
enough to make it.
You see. A few years afterwards, I had to show him. Listen, man. You remember me.
Did Nick Bollettieri ever come back to you later in your career saying, wow, I should have probably taken you in?
Yeah, of course. He was very cool about it, and he was very cool. I saw him in U.S. Open when I was 18, and we crossed on the court, and the guy, and you have to understand that I was at his academy 12 years old, and you know how many thousands of kids have passed by through his eyes, through his court, and the guy came to me and said, "Listen, Marat, I apologize. I made a mistake in my life." Like I was surprised because, and I really respect that. Gesture they could because it means that the person who can apologize for the mistakes, so-called mistakes, everybody makes mistakes, but accept that he made a mistake, it's a really big step forward, and it's really cool thing to do. So I really appreciate the people who who can do that. Not many people they can do that. They always find an excuse, no, because I didn't know, I don't remember, da 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 da. And the guy, he came straight forward and said, "Listen, I made a mistake. I apologize." Like I said, "Wow, thank you very much. It's really, it means a lot to me."
Nice.
But Tommy boy.
He's a tournament director now.
Yeah. Sorry, Doc. What's it, Mr. Tommy boy?
Exactly, Mr.
Mr. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's true. He good looking guy. Not as good looking as you, Marat. Don't worry.
He has less hair, man.
Especially now.
Now he understands what's to be the tournament director.
Second question.
Yeah.
Who was the highest? Who do you think was the highest ranked player you beat at the French Open? You have an idea? I'll give you a hint. He's French.
French?
No idea. Well, how many French guys did you play at Roland Garros? Do you remember that?
Well, I played Grosjean, I played Santoro, I played Piolín, I played Ascion.
Well,
that's it.
You said his name.
Piolín? He was number 7 or 5 in the world, no? Back then.
Six.
Six in the world, yes. Unbelievable tennis, unbelievable technique he had, very, very smooth. And he's a good guy. Cedric, I like very much.
Very good
Cedric
guy.
is a genius.
I hung out with him a lot because he was on the Davis Cup team, and I was working with the ITF, and we were.
Oh, okay.
So
it's very cool. Cedric is very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like to hang out, and also Escude is a very good. My friend. Yes, very, very easygoing.
Piolín, unfortunately, he had to suffer Pete Sampras twice in a Grand Slam final. Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Because that goes
Wimbledon. Wimbledon and US Open. But I think Cedric, he didn't believe in himself in that matches because he had the game to beat Sampras actually. He could play the similar tennis as Sampras because he could volley, he could play from the baseline, unbelievable forehand, similar game actually. But he always losing very easy, like I think it was 3 sets and 4 sets, something like this. But there's not much damage made because he didn't believe in himself.
Yeah,
and I was cheering for Piolín actually. But
he didn't have a pulled stomach or a pulled leg or an injury.
No, back then it was they had balls. Now I don't know.
Okay. Final question. This might be an easier one. Can you name 3 Parisian nightclubs?
Man Ray, VIP, and Rasputin.
Maladies.
That was easy. That was my playground.
Those were your favorites?
Yeah, it was my favorite courts, man. Unbelievable.
Paris.
Very good surface.
Does that also explain maybe the so-so results at Roland Garros, the nightlife in Paris? Good nightlife?
No, it wasn't the issue. I could say that. Right now I could say, but no. Okay. I was quite serious about it because I knew that I have to run on the court for quite some time, and I didn't wanna. I could come afterwards, and always the day I was losing, I was going out, and so I could meet all the same guys that I know the nightlife in Paris, so it wasn't the issue. You could find anything any day, but it's better afterwards. It's more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've come to an end. We have 2 little things left. I told you about there's a charity draw, a charity raffle that's taking place for the Paris hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're getting all the legends are giving us something, an article, a racket, I know you broke all your rackets, so a shoe, a shirt. Do you have anything for us? I
think we can deal with the racket or shoes.
Sounds good. Yeah, Sounds good. Will you sign them?
I will sign them. I will bring when I'm coming there. I will. I see you in Nice or something because I'm planning on coming in 2 weeks.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So I ping you.
Great. Spasiba, Marat.
Spasiba. Thank you, Eric.
You're amazing.
Thanks, Eric.
See you in 2
weeks.
Ciao, dude.
Ciao. Ciao.